Hello YouTube, this is the disassembly of the CSI L96 sniper rifle. So let's get started by taking the upper receiver apart from the stock. When you buy this gun, you will get two Allen keys. What you do is with the smaller one, there is a hole in the stock right here, and there's a hole right here. The screws they will stay in the stock, so you don't have to worry about losing the screws. So all you have to do is loosen here, and loosen the screw up there, and then just pick the barrel up, and then pull out. Comes out. Now this piece came out off. It's supposed to be attached to the upper receiver. I have replaced the screw by taking the screw that went from here and then screwed into up here, and I put it in the back of the bolt. I found this to be a more useful place for that screw because the screw they have for the bolt, when you pull this back, it wouldn't make it all the way. You pull it back, and after a while this screw would come loose and it would come out. So then you would lose your whole back end, which if you're target shooting, that's fine. You can easily replace it, fix it, but if you are at a field and you drop that, it's gone. You just kiss it goodbye, it's gone. So I put the screw back there. You don't really need a screw for this because it holds it in the stock very well. So I'll get to the upper receiver in just a second. As for the stock, the magazine is right here, and there's the hole for it. So there's nothing really special about the stock as that aspect, but there's two holes right here to where you can adjust the cheek rest. You will need the bigger Allen key to do that here. So there's two holes here and here. Tighten and or loosen it, and then you can have the cheek rest go up, down, or you can take them completely off if you have a very small scope or you have a big head. You can also adjust the rubber buttstock. I found this very nice, the rubber buttstock. It curves to your shoulder, which is very comfortable to have in your shoulder for an extended period of time, or just really quick. It feels nice. It gives texture to it. There's two screws in the back, which you can use the Allen key to adjust and take these. There's different pieces you can't see because of the rubber bands I added, but there's pieces of plastic in there you can replace and take out, add more, but I found this to be the perfect size for my shoulder. So that's pretty much it for the stock. Like I mentioned in the past video, I'll give you a closer up look, but I have the wire ties that I mentioned in an earlier video. Now, as for the upper receiver, it's very, very simple to take this apart. All you have to do is first take this screw out. And then once you get this out, it's very, very simple. All you have to do is just wiggle it a little bit, and it comes right out. And as for the barrel, the only piece that I've had break on this gun, besides the plastic tip, which is very cheap, it's plastic tip, which you don't need for airsoft fields, but I would not recommend taking it off unless you know that you'll be okay with doing so. So all the barrel has is the tube inside, which I will not take apart, and then this piece right here. There is a small hole right here. This is where that screw from the stock that goes further up, this is where this screw screws into there. I tightened it a little too tight and stripped it out, so I will have to replace that. So if anybody knows where I can replace that, that would be great. If you could leave me a comment or some sort of way to tell me where I can get this, that'd be fantastic. But as for that, that is the only part that is broke on this gun besides the hop-up. There is a piece of plastic under this. You take a screw out here, and you can get it underneath. I'm not going to do that, but you can easily adjust the hop-up. There's a small screw in there that broke on a piece of plastic, though. It just stripped it out. Not because I over-tightened it. It was broken. So I just got some epoxy, which is a strong glue, and was able to fix it, so now it's very responsive. There is no sway in it, so I can get it exact. So that's it for the barrel. Now as for the rest of the upper receiver, with the trigger box, and then the barrel, and then the bolt. So the bolt is very, very nice. You can take this out and I will do so, you can actually see how big the screw was that I replaced it with. If you bought this already, you can compare it, but this screw is much longer than the one they actually provided that goes back here. This is at least a little bit bigger, not a huge difference though, but it definitely made a difference in keeping it on there. So just tighten that back up. Make sure you have it on there really good, because that's one piece you don't want to lose. Because you lose this, the gun pretty much will not fire. Okay, so to take this apart, all you have to do is this piece right here. You can twist it with your hand, or you can get a screwdriver. You'll probably need a screwdriver. Just put it in that hole, and then just twist it. Now, don't twist it all the way. It should come out about, I don't know, about a centimeter, or about almost half an inch, fourth of an inch, about a fourth of an inch. So about that much. And then I would recommend doing it with your hand, because it will shoot out a little bit. So be ready to catch it, because there is a big spring behind it. So then there's this piece. So that's how big it is. It has a nice little rubber seal in there, so you don't get any air leaking out or anything in there. The tube, and then you have to pull the bolt back to get this to slide out. Don't yank on it, you'll mess up your spring. And then you have your spring guide. You can replace these by getting upgrades, make them metal, make the spring a little bit bigger. If that's what you want, it's fine. I didn't do it. I found this gun to be perfectly fine just the way it was. So now the upper receiver is pretty much done. You can just pull the bolt straight out. So, it's definitely a nice gun. I really do like it. If you pull this little pin out right here, your bolt will slide all the way out. But I would not take apart this unless there's something wrong with it. If there is, I have taken it apart. If you need me to make a video on it, I will make a video on how to take this apart and how to put it back together. If you have any problems, just leave me a comment. I'll be happy to see if I can help you fix your problem. But to tighten the tactical rail, if it gets loose and wiggles, there is a hole here, and if you take this off, there is another hole just like it. So all you have to do is get a screwdriver, stick it in there. You need a bit longer one than this. Stick it in there, and then you could just tighten it, and then that's it. It's full metal. Everything up here is metal, so it's very nice. But to get this back in here, it's not as simple as just pushing it in. There's a small little piece right here. I think you can see it. That will have to go down. So there's a spring on the side right here. You will have to push, and hold down, and slide that through just a little bit. And then on the opposite side, or on the same side, there's a little lever right here. You'll have to push that down, and then push your bolt forward even further. This part is a little bit harder to do, but not too bad. So there's the bolt. There's how to put it back in. And then to put the spring in, you need to make sure that you put this little piece in before you put your spring guide in. Because if you do not, it won't work. It's just that simple. So then put your spring and your spring guide back in the barrel, on the bolt. Slide this back over. And then use your hands. Don't use a screwdriver right away. You could end up launching this thing. So got that back in. Tighten that with your hand. And then get a screwdriver. And continue to tighten it. Like I said, make sure you don't strip it. That is a very easy thing to do, but make sure you got it on there good. And then make sure it works. Cock it back. I would not recommend doing this a lot. It's not good for your gun, but for the video I am going to do it. So then pull the trigger. You can see that there is a little bit of a jump to it because you are launching a giant spring forward. But then to put this back together, put that back on there. There should be a screw, but I replaced it like I said earlier. So then grab the barrel, slide this back in, get this screw, put it back in there, and then all you have to do is slide it right back in the stock. And that is the disassembly of the CSI L96 sniper rifle.